welcome to the video walkthrough for the Beverly IG Posts. When you get the link, it will direct you to a page that looks like this. Hit Use Template, and that will bring it into your own Canva account. And when you're in here, the first thing you're going to want to do is head over to File and make a copy. Just in case you make a few mistakes, you'll always have that master file to just start all over again instead of trying to guess what it looked like before. So now that you've done that, you go over to Uploads, upload an image or video, locate your own photos and bring them into Canva. They'll look like this when they're imported, and then you can just drag and drop all your own photos into place and change the information as needed, or you can make a few adjustments. So let's go through these options. The first thing you can do is change anything you want about the text. So obviously you can change what's the copy itself. You can change the color to match your own brand colors by heading over to Color, New Color, and then putting in the hex code if you know it, or just changing the color to something that you prefer if you're not totally happy with this dark blue color. So here are the default colors, and you can always play around with any color here, make it suit your needs however you want. Any color you want is available for you here. For the purpose of this tutorial, we're just going to keep it as is. Same goes for font sizing. You can change the size here, and you can change the font itself here. You have the option of if the text that you want to place in this box is too long for the box and you want it to sit in place the way that it looks here, you have the option of either adjusting the font size to something smaller, or you can highlight the text, head over to Litter, and adjust the spacing to adjust it in the box itself. And that way it will still look good. So that's just a trick there. And you can do that for any of the text boxes. Any colors that you see can be changed, so just make sure that the color box is highlighted, and then you can change the colors by heading over to the Color tab and changing those. Okay, in order to change the photos, you grab the photo that you'd like to use, hover it over the box, and it will pop into place. Now, if you're not happy with the positioning of the photo in the box, you double click, and then you can move it around however you want it to look in that box. Everything can be changed. So if I have a lighter image here, and this open house is kind of getting drowned out by the light aspects of the room, I'm just going to move that up first to a place that's a little bit darker, and that looks just as good. So I'm going to leave it like that. But if you had a really light room and there was no option to do this, what I would suggest is highlighting the text, changing it to one of the other colors in the design, and that way you can read it better. This is the testimonial template. You can also use it for quotes. It's completely up to you, and of course you can change the color, the font, and this icon as well. So if you want to change that to a different color, you can go ahead and do that. Any of these can be changed. The URL, if you don't have a URL for the property, you could always just put a tagline for the property itself that you come up with, like chic living, for example. That's something, or just your own URL here. So if you don't have a property URL, you could put your own website address there. This is an overlay, so it works really well. This transparency works really well over a dark image, but if you have a light image like this one, you might think that it's a little bit hard the text is a little bit hard to read, in which case you would highlight the box, head over to this transparency button, and adjust that as needed. So you might want to bring that up, and then you can read the text really well, but you can still see the image behind it. So I'm just going to bring it down just a little bit so you can see the bed behind it, and then it looks great. And now because of this, these elements need to be changed. So I would make that blue and make this blue as well. And that way you can still read everything. Same, this is a transparency as well, so you might want to change that. Quote text, you can use this for testimonials as well. And anytime you see writing over a box, if you're having trouble accessing the box below it, just shift the text box and then highlight the box underneath, and that way it's easy to change the color. Okay. Okay, you are provided with these optional property icons. So they are available in your zip file, and if when you unzip that file, there's going to be a folder called icons, and you were given blue, gold, and white icon options. And when you bring them into Canva, they're going to look like this. You just click on them once, and then grab them by the corner to resize, whatever size you want. I'm going to do something like this. Bring in the other one, drag from the side. And then we need to tell everybody how many bedrooms and how many baths. So I'm going to hit T on my keyboard, bring that text right down, say 2, move this down here. That's a little bit large for me, so I'm going to reduce the font size to something about 21, a little bit small. Make it 28, perfect. Okay, I'm going to position it where I want. And then, just to make things easy, I'm going to copy and paste, bring that over to the bath. Okay, and now I've told people that there's 2 beds and 2 baths, and when you're happy with that, just play around with it to make sure that everything's lined up. So Canva has these little lines that you're seeing, and it'll tell you when things are lined up together. So just play around with them to make sure that everything's in line. And when you're happy, that's how you would use these icons. It's really that simple. If you don't want to use them, completely up to you. When you're happy with the way that everything looks, you head over to download. Make sure that PNG is selected, and then you have the option of either downloading all 10, or you can choose which one you'd like to download. So in the future, if you're coming here to just design one, like let's say just one testimonial, for example, and you don't want to download all 10, you would just find the testimonial, click that, and download. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to say that we want to do all 10 and download them. And once you're done that, it will create a zip folder on your computer. You unzip that file, and then you send yourself those images any way that you would normally send yourself images to post on Instagram. So AirDrop, Google Drive, Dropbox, or just emailing them to yourself works really well. I hope this was helpful, and if you need any more help, please feel free to head over to 4thstreetcreative.com/tutorials to access our big resource library. Happy designing!